You got Rajon Rondo here talking about the death of point guards.
I mean, it's sad. I believe, basketball guys appreciate, myself and Chris that how the way we play the game. I believe the right way.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't not that every guard is scoring down is selfish, but at the same time, the point guard is the leader of the floor. He's an extension of the coach on the floor. And like I said earlier about it, if a lot of these coaches got thrown out the game, point guard wouldn't know how to handle the situation. They wouldn't know what plays to call down the stretch of the games. They wouldn't know who to get the ball to at certain times, different matchups. So, it's sad the game has gone this way. But again, the league wanted scoring. The league pushed, 160-point games. Like, there's no defense isn't being, cherished. There's a defensive man award, but nobody really talks about it. It's not like that guy's actual defensive player that can stop and play both sides. So
a lot of people like to blame Adam Silver, and I can't fully hold him accountable. This thing started over 24 years ago when they put in the zone defense. Pro basketball, NBA's illegal defense rule will most likely be eliminated. New York Times article from April 12, 2001. You got Rudy Tomjanovich. He and a couple of others were on the campaign trail this week working hard. It's getting ugly. This whole thing has pitted a lot of the coaches and players against management, and it shouldn't be that way. This is all about getting rid of the illegal defense and adding the zone defense 24 years ago. Instituting a defensive 3-second rule in which defenders will be allowed to stay in the lane for only 3 seconds unless they were within arm's length of an opponent. You see that happening now. That's all we see now. We are in the remnants of that currently. Shortening the 10-second rule to bring the ball back up past midcourt to 8 seconds. Redefining incidental contact to cut down on touch fouls. So that's all to promote the game for offense, obviously. The changes are meant to encourage more movement and passing while discouraging teams from steering offenses toward isolation plays in which a majority of a team's players stand idle on the weak side to draw defenders away from the ball. That trend has been a factor in the decrease in scoring over the past decade.
What I got Pat Riley said.
I think it's a huge mistake. Pat Riley said last week, there's not going to be anybody able to drive. With these rules, you're going back to the 70s in scoring. You can't force pace. Sounds very bold, and it is, acknowledged Jerry Colangelo, the Phoenix Suns owner and chairman of the committee that submitted the recommendation 2 weeks ago and signed Steve Nash in that offseason, thinking he's slick when it went through. But at this point, it's better than a tweak. The fact is we don't have any fluidity in our game right now. There is less ball movement and less player movement than there's ever been. Might be true because that was the post-Jordan era, which I don't want to talk about, but most opponents.
But there's got to be a balance. There's got to be a healthy balance, though.
Most opponents of the rule changes agree with Colangelo that the game has become too stagnant and that the choreography of the teamwork has all but disappeared from many arenas. But they don't feel such a dramatic change will suddenly turn the game into the free-flowing style that will raise television ratings and increase fan interest. Well, they're wrong about that. Luckily, they got Steph in there. It would change the sport, as Rudy Tomjanovich said. One of the most vocal opponents of the zone defense. We should create a situation where great players get a chance to excel. Zones neutralize great athletic ability. People want to see guys who can soar to the basket. Calling the committee's proposed changes a knee-jerk reaction to complaints about the pace of the game. Fans like to see Vince Carter play one-on-one outside. That stuff is going to be history. Isolation basketball has been a part of the game ever since I've been in it. That's what Pat Riley said. Other coaches like Phil Jackson and George Karl were weary of the increased focus on defense and the plotting half-court sets that have led to the game stagnation are fine with the changes. Phil Jackson said, I'm totally okay with the zone. It's going to hurt Shaq, but it's still part of what the game has to be. And, of course, that was Shaq's coach. Then you have Damon Stoudemire saying it will mess the game up. I'm not a big advocate of zone defense. That's the reason why players leave college. You're going to put a boxing one on Vince Carter. Fans are paying money to see these games. You can't wait. You can't just take away what has essentially made the NBA what it is, one-on-one basketball. This is all interesting. But the debate has polarized some in the coaching community. It has created a wedge between coaches and ownership. A veteran coach, he was anonymous. He said, you don't ask Lenny Wilkens, Pat Riley, Rudy Tomjanovich, or Larry Brown to be on that committee. Most of the people on that committee have worked for the league in some capacity. What they've done is pitted the coaches against the owners. Colangelo defended the committee and dismissed the notion that the changes were railroaded. Many of the people in favor of these changes have been in the game over the last 3 decades. We can relate to how everything has evolved. I understand their concerns, but the fact is many of the coaches in the league are entrenched. One of my arguments is each franchise now averages about 6 assistants per team. Let's put them to work. Oh, shit. That's going back to what Rondo just said. That is one of the major concerns among opponents, that coaches will have more control of the game. People will be coming up with all kinds of crazy defenses. I want that what's best for the NBA. I'm not sure the rule changes are. Tom Donovich added, there shouldn't be us against them, but I would think we could come up with rules to encourage exploiting our assets instead of stifling them. I'm not one of these guys who think the players of today aren't what they used to be. There are guys now who do things we never dreamed about. I think we've been so desensitized by all the amazing plays that we forgot that that's what people come to see. Stern appointed Colangelo nearly 2 months ago to choose a committee. Blase blah. Steve Francis wants a typical Houston set is giving one guy the ball and sending everyone else away from him. Hardly anyone else is even involved. It's not the lack of ball movement. People wonder whatever happened in the lost art of offensive rebounding. To the lost art of offensive rebounding, players are no longer in position to rebound because of some of those sets. Everyone knows we have a problem, but no one has come up with anything better. If this thing doesn't pass, then that's it. We're not gonna go back. Monster Mash, he said, I don't see how that's going to be I don't see how that's going to promote scoring. You look at teams like the Lakers and the Heat, Shaq and Alonzo will be in the lane. Imagine playing against David Robinson and Tim Duncan standing there in the middle of a 3-2 zone. Damn. It all ties together, especially with Rajon Rondo, no disrespect. I don't know how I really say your name, but he said the point guard is necessary because without him, the coaches won't know what to do. And that's very funny that he's sitting behind Doc Rivers right now on that Milwaukee Bucks bench, of course, in his heyday. Come on now. And even at the end of his days, Rajon Rondo was still doing his thing, winning championships with the Lakers. That trade to Cleveland was almost a turnaround when Evan Mobley first went down his rookie year, when Ricky Rubio got hurt. Just a smart mind. Everybody credits Rajon Rondo. But the only thing I want to add to this is you saw what Phil Jackson said. The zone's going to hurt Shaq, and players like Shaq is what he should have said, because that's the end of the last of the Mohicans. The point guard died with the center. I'm always saying this. I sound like a broken record. But what do you need a point guard for if the center is no longer there? We saw what happened. Now you add zone defenses and stuff. Maybe if you get rid of the zone defense, even then, that's the whole point. You got rid of Shaq. I think the isolation basketball, the one-on-one, only happens when you have a center and guys like that who will be on one side of the court doing whatever it takes to mash people, slow the game down. And you need a point guard to really be the general on the court. And then everything in that article about we got to make the coaches work because there's 6 assistant coaches on the bench. Now, what do they say? What do they do? Someone like Daryl Morey exploited the whole thing and said, fuck it, drive and kick all day. So they wanted this from 24 years ago. Now it's coming to a head because Steph Curry is on the way out. They don't have the Steph Curry on the horizon. It's Wemby. You can't. What are you going to do with these rules if you don't foresee a Steph Curry coming up? He's a lightning rod.
But they don't go back to illegal defense. They don't go back to eliminating zone defense. They don't go back to trying to implement how things were. There's got to be a healthy balance in what's going on in today's basketball, right? Like it just can't be a complete shift from what it looks like today. Like, because even at that time, there were times when we thought that everybody had a style. Everybody wasn't copycat. Like that, the league is a copycat league. That started kind of around this time, right? Before that, you could look at certain teams and say, yo, they ran this style, this team ran this style, this team ran that style. You couldn't look at teams and say everybody ran the same shit.
I totally disagree. I think them pointing out the Rockets was major because the Rockets games, don't get me wrong, the one-on-one was cool.
We're talking about Steve Francis and Cuttino Mobley era, but I'm talking about prior to that.
Yeah,
I'm saying that they played a different style than the Knicks did. They didn't play the same way.
But what they're not saying is that now you got Iverson coming in the league, taking over, and I keep saying this, and nobody fucking believes me. He did not just impact the game with this culture. I want to wear a thing on my elbow shit. No, he moved from the point guard to the 2 guard. The reason why that's so impactful is because the point guard is no longer a point guard, but he was the leader of the pack. He's the icon of that. He's the Jordan of that. So everybody wanted to be like him. He made it okay to loosen up the dribble. He made it okay to say, Larry Brown said, you're not playing point guard. You can't be my point guard. We got to move you to the 2 because you're going to chuck Bubba Chuck. So him doing that, then you got Steve Francis, Gilbert Arenas, everybody else, Steph Curry. And I'm like, people don't believe me, but part of these rules was to kind of limit that. It was your point guard moved off the point guard duties. And now we can't hand check you. You got 8 seconds to run up court. Everything promotes that style.
But I could even argue back, Ray, that even before Iverson, there were dynamic guards before AI that, because the way coaching was and because the way the game was, they didn't feel like Dana Barros could take over. They didn't feel like a Michael Adams could take over the league. They didn't feel like Robert Pack could take over. Like all of these guys that I just named right now are all mid-90s guys. Tim Hardaway was a scoring guard. He was a point guard, but you got Mitch Richmond next to you. You got Chris Mullin next to you. It's kind of hard to take you off the basketball and ask somebody else to do it. So what I'm saying is, yeah, Iverson is we could say that is the Jordan of that prototypical guard that you're talking about right now. But prior to him, the coaches didn't even feel confident enough to allow Dana Barros to get off the ball because Dana is just a killer. He's 5'3", so he's a point guard. But damn, Dana could fill it up. He has to play point guard.
So who you compare? Who would you compare Dana Barros to in this era? Who immediately comes up?
Immediately for Dana Barros?
A little guard that could shoot. It's Trae Young. My point is, it had to evolve to Allen Iverson,
Torrey B, Abdul Rauf, Chris Jackson. It was dynamic guards.
But they were dynamic, but nobody was Iverson. Bro, the braids, the hip-hop shit, the personality.
I got you with that. But we talking about high-level scoring. There was niggas that was in the league that were smaller guards that were high-level
what were they saying? What were they saying about Michael Jordan before he started winning? Before, forget winning, just when he came to the league, what were they saying? The next Dr. J, but
he didn't win.
I don't know if he can win because the two guard could never win as the primary guy. He changed that, and they changed the rules with him. They changed the rules for Mike, and part of all this is that we wanted to promote all the scoring from the perimeter guys that can handle the ball. Iverson, it was for me. It was got Mike, you got Magic and Bird and Dr. J before that, but Mike changed everything. And for me personally, Allen Iverson changed everything for the bad, for the worse, whatever it was. He made it cool for a point guard to be a two guard. And the rule changes helped all of that. But they were even trying to get him out of there because they wanted these Europeans in there, which is not talked about. That's who the real deal. That's what they really wanted to come in this league. So because they couldn't play R&B.
Do you align yourself with, because you're a conspiracy theorist, I don't know where the tinfoil hat is right now. I don't know if it's handy, but we need to make sure it's around somewhere. But do you subscribe to the NBA as a league structures the rules per the superstar or potential face that is about to take over?
1,000,000%. Why do you think he's talking like that right now? There's no way you got Wemby in the league and you don't change the rules. There's no way. How do you have Wemby? Wemby has the most viewed highlight in the history of the NBA. Are you taking me seriously with this hat on? It doesn't matter. They see it.
Nobody in the chat is. They looking at you crazy.
They see it. The whole point is for me, they made changes for Jordan. The Pistons were complaining, bro, we hack everybody. Since when are we not allowed to play ball like this? Why? Because he's the leader he's the face of the league. Isaiah says it all the time. That's why he's hated. He's bitter about this shit, but he knows he's the villain, and it's business, bro. It's not your time anymore. So once Jordan left, we know they were looking for the next Jordan, and it wasn't going to work. They're like, yo, this is kind of hard. Harold Miner. It just so happened we had Kobe. It just so happened what they really messed out on. You know what I always say the same thing over and over again. Grant Hill and Penny got hurt because that would have changed everything.
We always have that conversation.
Yes, but my point is that these rule changes happen because they wanted to promote it, like Rajon Rondo was saying. You wanted the point guard out, but you also wanted the center out first because that's who mucks the game up. Those are the guys that muck the game up in fleece terms. They getting everybody out the way. What you always say, Draymond ain't doing none of that. None of that with the sheriffs in town. It's not happening.
He plays with the right niggas. He's not gonna play with certain type of niggas. But we don't have a lot of those guys in the league anymore.
R&B is out of style apparently in the NBA. But Adam Silver is saying he wants it back in the league, and he's only saying it because he has Wemby there. He wouldn't be saying that. He didn't say that 10 years ago. He wouldn't dare say that 10 years ago when James Harden was out here running amok, backstepping, sliding, moonwalking, all kind of shit. Rajon Rondo's right. Adam Silver thinks he's slick. Do you think he helped complete David Stern's mission, which is what we saw in the article?
I think David Stern. If I want to go back to that era and really do some more research, because I don't know if I really believe David Stern was really like in full support of that, or if it was just. I mean, it's the part of the competition committee, so he's being led by a certain group, and that's people. They said that was people in the NBA that were a part of the NBA for a long time, and so by that time, what is that? 16 years as the commissioner. That was 2001. He got the job in what, 84, 83,
right around Jordan.
Something right around, so something like that.
84, 17 years.
Yeah, so 16 years, and he's gained plenty of relationships with people in the league. And even before that, remember I was talking to you, Fabian, about when I was listening to his story. David Stern was attached to the NBA far longer before he actually became commissioner. He was an NBA lawyer for a while. He was the counsel for the actual league for a while. So he was attached to the league. So what I'm saying is he took some direction from some actual basketball people. So I don't know if so that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if David Stern was really in, like, you know what I mean? They made it happen. But I don't know if he was in complete agreement with that. And now the Adam Silver has completed the mission. Fuck that. David Stern liked the way basketball was at that time.
Why?
He enjoyed it.
Why? Who? For who? Fuck why? We know who made everything so likable.
For everybody. There's not just one player in the league that niggas like. Michael Jordan was God, but let's stop acting like the league wasn't full of other guys that we enjoyed.
It's not that we did it. Once again, we know that he was hand in hand with Nike, McDonald's. We know that he loved the fact that Nike, McDonald's, Gatorade had a commercial provided for his star player on a nightly basis, every morning, every day. The housewives, the kids, everybody got to see a commercial with Michael Jordan promote his game. That's part of the rise of David Stern. And then when he said he's out of the game, we got to fix this somehow. How do we fix this?
Sure, but these niggas was trying to kill Michael Jordan, bro.
Yes, and he put a stop to it.
Yes, but that's good. They weren't trying to defend him as competition, as being competitors. They were trying to say, okay, we can't stop him, so he gonna fuck him up.
Correct.
That's not defense.
I agree.
That's not defense. So yes, change the fucking rules, because you niggas are not good enough to stop me.
It's also now it's like what happened with football. The internet era is coming. Everything's being televised. All the shit they used to do in the 60s and 70s was not live television. Now it's not just that it's live. It's a way bigger audience ever before watching Michael Jordan in May and June. It's 2-3 times the audience going, hey, that's basketball? That's not fair. We didn't say that. We said, yo, go beat his ass or something. If you can't beat his ass, you just pick up the ball and play basketball, bro. Because you can't fuck him up. But just shoot the ball. What are you gonna do? And you're gonna be terrified playing basketball, or you're gonna stand up to them. But I loved everything about this because everything ties into each other together. And I'm hoping we get to talk to someone throughout this time period that just acknowledges what I'm saying. That the point guard died with the center, and it died because they wanted them damn Euros in the game. That's why, because they weren't handling these point guards.
You want to talk to niggas now? You feel like talking to niggas now?
Certain dudes.
You want to talk to niggas now?
Certain dudes.
You feel like talking? All right.
If they're eloquent.
All right.
If they have your temperament.
Good. Yes. Or you want to talk to niggas? Good. I'm glad now.
I want them to curse me out. Like, who do you think you are? You think you know it all? Like, yeah. Can we get past that now? Please get tired. We're out of here, guys.
No, we're not too good to have some of the best basketball minds that we know up here talking hoops with us. We act like we too fucking bougie to have them up here. Our resources are long. Pause.
Chat.
You know people. I know people.
Chat.
Fuck out of here.
Chat. What is Flea's favorite slogan?
I don't want to talk to these niggas. But where did you meet Flea? What did you call Flea the first time you saw him interviewing something? What did you say?
What I say?
Oh, all right.
Those are two different questions. You're asking me a bunch of questions. I'm confused.
When you a dirty ass nigga, yo. You's a dirty ass nigga.
ALLBALL TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.